Hey, Father Miller here. Welcome back to Nerd Father. Happy to have with us tonight John Trent from Bounding into Comics. Good to see you, John. It's been hard to have you on the stream.
Yeah, the little one has interfered with her
Oh,
plan.
no worries. No worries.
And
I mean,
then
that
and
has to
then
come first.
yeah, and then we all had COVID for like 2 weeks,
So
so
how bad was
kind of
I
took
know
some.
I know I didn't mention it when you were away from the stream. I just kind of kept that under the seal, but
Yeah, so for us, like, so my whole family had it. Me, my wife, and my toddler now. I
oh
gotta say
no,
that
she
now.
got
She's
it
in the
too.
Yeah, she tested positive in one of those like over the
Oh,
counter quick tests or whatever. I mean, she just had a runny nose and she's got a little bit of a cough still. Um, but the runny nose is gone. It didn't even seem to phase her whatsoever. She was still like just charging around because she just started walking in October and now she's walking all over the place now. She's a big time walker now. But for me, I think I had it the worst out of everyone. My big symptom was I had a really, really bad sore throat. Like it felt like I was every time I swallowed, it felt like I was swallowing like a shard of glass. That was really bad. So I was drinking a ton of tea with honey and sucking down a bunch of like throat lozenges. And apparently, I didn't realize this. On the back of the throat lozenges, it tells you like not to take them like back to back, like wait a couple hours. Well, I wasn't doing that.
I never did
Um,
that.
so I was just sucking them down as much as I could, and then I was even using they have some kind of like spray that you can spray now into your mouth that like numbs it. So I was using that too. So I was trying everything I could for that sore throat. That was like the worst thing. I did have a slight fever. That wasn't too, like it wasn't. I didn't even really notice it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously by the end, you did feel kind of fatigue. I felt some fatigue, obviously, because my body had been fighting it off for a while. But now I feel back to normal now. I still have a little bit of congestion, but I'm not really sure if that's from COVID or if that's just because of like crazy weather here. Like yesterday it was like 70, and now it's like back down into like the 40s. So
So
I don't know.
I had
But like
about an
I
inch of
get seasonal
snow.
allergies too. So
Well, we had an inch of snow yesterday, and today it was up to 60.
right. Yeah, and then I mean obviously we had those horrible tornadoes that tore through the South, especially hit Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
It was just absolutely devastating what happened there. So the
Yeah, I
weather's
was
just kind of
trying to
been
find out. It was in the seminary with a priest from the Diocese of Lexington. I don't think he's been hit. I haven't seen anything on his Facebook account from it, but
I mean I saw some of those images from that Mayfield place. I mean
mm,
it's not there anymore. There's
yeah,
maybe a couple
yeah.
buildings that are
No, I
still there.
mean,
Everything else is just
I sometime I'll have to send you the picture, but the church from back home. So I don't really say the state that I live in now, but besides denial,
oh
but I grew up in Iowa, and I went home after the Chrism map. No, not the Chrism. Yeah, holy. It was after the Easter Vigil. I went home, but like 3 days earlier on Holy Thursday, the church got hit by a tornado, and the people went into the rectory basement right after the service when the sirens started going off. And the thing that was amazing was even though the roof was ripped off, and I mean, the building next to the church had wooden beams through the concrete. I mean, just to show you how strong that is. The only light that was still lit in the church was the tabernacle candle.
wow. That's
I
just
mean, even though everything was gone, I mean, the roof was
right.
gone, and they've ended up tearing it down because it was right in the heart of the University of Iowa, and that's very valuable land. So
Right.
they got a good deal out of it.
I that the light was still there shows you something too, though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh
Christ was
yeah,
still
and I mean
there.
that was the big thing that was made of. Um, and today is the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, in addition to
Yep.
Gaudete Sunday. But as you noticed, today is the 490th anniversary of Guadalupe. So
Yes, I saw that.
I think I might start planning for a pilgrimage to Mexico in 10 years.
I saw you. I think tweeting about that. Maybe it was on Facebook.
Yeah,
I saw it
the thing
somewhere.
is, I wanted to organize a pilgrimage. I think it was like a year. it would have been for last year. Well, it wouldn't have happened anyway. But the Passion Play in Germany, I always wanted to go see that. You're
So
familiar with the Passion Play, right?
no, I'm not.
Okay, so there's a village in Bavaria that made a
Southern
promise
Germany.
that made a promise with God during the time of the Black Death that if they were spared from the plague, they would put on, and don't ask me how they came up with 10, but they would put on the Passion Play of our Lord, which is an all-day event, and they do it every 10 years, and they've done it ever since like the 1600s. The only time it hasn't happened was during World War II.
And it is the, I mean, I assume they do the entire like Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they basically prepped for years for it. And I can't pronounce the town because you know how German is with all the different syllables and everything.
Oh yeah. Just like English, right?
Yeah. At least Mississippi isn't hard to say as much as Obagambadan, or I think that's how it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's actually something. I mean, I was talking to Kate. So one of our parochial vicars is actually doing a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, I believe, next year, and that's something that we want to do as well. But we're like, well, we'll have to wait till like maybe the kids are a little older, so they can actually like come with us instead.
Appreciate
like,
it.
She's like and like instead of us just kind of trying to wrangle her and like get us distracted, so we all can kind of take it in and appreciate it. So that's something that we want to do. And I watched, I guess it was on Amazon, watched the story of Our Lady of Guadalupe and how someone actually tried to like firebomb the painting.
Yeah,
or something like that, if I remember
see
correctly.
if I can bring. So I actually talked about it in the homily this morning because it was in the 1920s. If you remember the movie For Greater Glory.
I do not.
Okay, that came out about 10 years ago. It's about the persecution in Mexico in the 1920s. Are you familiar with Miguel Pro?
No.
Okay, no, that's fine. Miguel Pro was the priest that was executed by firing squad and shouted out "Viva Cristo Rey" right before he was killed. Let me see if I can find.
So some art there.
Okay, let's bring this up. So in 1920, during the Great Persecution, somebody tried to blow up the image of Our Lady Guadalupe.
Right.
And
in the church.
And as I was telling the people, the tilma is made of cactus fibers, so it should have dissolved within 30 years.
Right. It shouldn't even exist anymore. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, the thing is, if you look at the image, and I'll bring that up next, I mean, it's a smooth image, and on cactus fiber, it should not appear like that.
Right.
So this cross was right next to the tilma, and just to show you the damage it sustained, but the tilma, the glass protecting the tilma
this
was
is
untouched.
You can see the bottom part, and then, wow.
Yeah.
Totally warped.
Yeah. So that's on veneration down in Guadalupe.
I think the only kind of like damage that's been done to it was like some kind of like acid spill when they were doing a
refurbishing or something.
They were looking into it, and like there's like a line down when we're looking at it down the right of it, I think. But yeah, it's just the miracle is amazing as well. And I guess I was seeing something in her eyes. You see the bishop, and then you see I'm gonna not remember his name.
There's like 13 people that you can see in the eyes, and it's basically like as if she took a photograph with her eyes of that scene.
Right. Yeah. It's truly amazing.
Now my clock is off, so that's why you're going to hear the chimes.
Oh, is that supposed to be 7 or something?
Odin. No, it's 6 o'clock here, but the thing is, that's it's my great uncle's clock, and the chimes just start working again. I don't want to get the clock face replaced because this is always reminding me of my grandparents' sound, and they can't get the same chimes. So if I get new chimes, it's going to be totally different.
Right.
So I'm hanging on to those memories for as long as I can. But let me see if I can find the I don't know if you're well, you would be too young to remember it. Unsolved Mysteries, that was on
I
NBC in the 90s.
I remember Unsolved Mysteries. In the what year? When was it? The 90s? I remember
It would have
Unsolved
been.
Mysteries though. I know I've heard of it. I think I watched some of that stuff.
This would have been
My parents.
from. We'll try to play a little bit of it without the sound, so that way. Well, we'll have to have the sound. Let me try sharing that. But they did a segment on Guadalupe, and I think they actually mentioned the cross too.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I do remember this. I remember watching Unsolved Mysteries.
This program is about unsolved mysteries. Whenever possible, the actual family members and police.
Here we go.
Did Juan return?
Thing with the cross. Let's see. I guess it's a pretty long episode.
Yeah, it looks like it's an hour long. It ran for
well,
an hour.
It was always an
minutes.
hour long, but there was like 3 different segments within it.
Right, because you would have the 5 minutes or ads or whatever, probably.
Yeah, but anyway, so I mean, I'm going to try to post that on Twitter later, but I used to show my kids that clip when I taught high school.
Yeah, I watched Kate and I watched one on Amazon. It was really good. It was free. I can't remember if you have Prime, I guess.
Yeah, I have Prime.
And yeah, so I forgot. I don't. There's so many on there about Our Lady of Guadalupe, but this one was really good. It had like a woman who I guess has examined the painting or examined the tilma, and they had a bunch of other people I guess who had examined it too, and they had a couple priests. Because they talk about how the devotion has spread to the United States as well. I think I can't remember what his name is. It might be Bishop. Who's the guy in New York? Dolan. I think he might have been there. Can't remember. I think they talked. It might have been Cardinal Burke though too. I can't remember. It's been a while since we saw it. But they had him there. I think whoever helped. I think it might have been Cardinal Burke because I think he helped found there's like a cathedral in Minnesota or something. Dedicated to Our Lady of Guadalupe. So
I don't think devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe is new in this country. I mean, maybe a little bit more now that the Hispanic population is growing.
No, I don't think it's new either. I mean, I always think back to the Battle of New Orleans, and they were praying in the cathedral there. I'm probably saying it's probably, I don't know if it was a cathedral, but they're praying in the church there. And Andrew Jackson, after they completely routed the English, which they were outnumbered 2-1 or whatever. Fog came in, let them just completely defeat them. He came back and was praising the Catholic parishioners for their prayers and crediting the victory to them. So I always think about that.
There's a neat church in Old City, Philadelphia. Commodore John Barry, the father of the American Navy, one of the fathers of the American Navy, is buried there. But it's Old St. Mary's. It's one of the first Catholic churches in Philadelphia. There's a big plaque because after the Revolutionary War, Benjamin Franklin, Washington, and a bunch of the leaders attended a mass of Thanksgiving for victory over the British. But yeah. I mean, it's just really, I mean, I lived in Philly for 4 years. I love going to Philly. Diverting a little bit, I don't think I'm going to get to go this year because I was just talking to my classmate. No, it actually works out for the best, I think, because I am going to kick myself. I just bought tickets to go see Weird Al today.
I thought you did go. Are you talking about 2022?
No, 2022. He's coming to our city in 2022. Okay. And the best part is Emo Phillips. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No, I'm not. I know who Weird Al is, though.
I got to play a little clip because I reached out to Emo Phillips. He was in Weird Al's movie in the 1980s, UHF, if you ever heard of that.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I got to play this. And if I get copyright, I could probably just ask him to take it away because Emo Phillips is a very sarcastic, dry humor comedian, and
sounds up your alley.
And I sent him a tweet asking for an autograph, and I just basically, kind of worded it in the way he might. And he's been tweeting me, messaging
awesome.
me. So he asked, it's like, let me know which concert you're going to go to. So I think I might get to meet them. Here we go. Let me know if the sound's working.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have the sound on. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
So even though it's an hour earlier than you, I'm half tired right now. So, okay, this is Emo Phillips.
Trouble once on a date. I didn't open the car door for her. Instead, I just swam for the surface. I like to play chess with old men in the park. Of course, the tough part about playing chess with old men in the park is finding 32 of them. I have a line of greeting cards coming out.
Let me just get
my
to the
first
last
job
one.
As a kid, I went door to door selling greeting cards. It's birthday season approaching.
Let's see. Here we go.
My sister married someone from Germany, which is not the most efficient way to get back at them. But she's doing her part. I'm at a deli with him in New York. He says, Emo, I can't get a good bagel back in Germany. I said, well, whose fault is that?
So that is Emo Phillips. Like I said, I'm hoping to get to meet him in person. I've been a fan of his for about 30 years.
That last one was pretty good.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
the shrine I was talking about is it's in Wisconsin. Sorry. It's in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and it was founded and dedicated Our Lady appeared to. Yeah, it was dedicated and founded by Cardinal Burke. So
okay. Yeah, Mary appeared in the 1830s, if I remember correctly. It's the only American apparition that's been approved.
I don't know, Wikipedia doesn't say anything about an apparition. So, of course. That's all I'm looking at.
Let's see. 1859, appeared in Wisconsin. The National Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
So
that's good. There weren't any apparitions in like California or Florida or anything. In Spanish for that.
And our Lord did not appear on a window in Florida. There's like this. People read all sorts of signs, like trying to find Jesus on a piece of toast or
right, or in a pizza,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
My thing is, I've seen too many good people get caught up in apparitions that aren't approved. And it just, it's one of the things I used to be very into Medjugorje, But the fact that it's been going on for 40 years was just very, very odd for any Marian apparition. I mean, Fatima was less than a few months.
Right.
Lourdes wasn't very long. But the idea that Our Lady is appearing for 40 years, that's just anyway.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was actually, I guess, I saw an article. I don't know. I don't know who it was. I forget. Someone was claiming that the third secret has not been revealed from Fatima.
It has. It has.
Well, I forget who it was.
2000 with Cardinal Ratzinger.
Right, but I think whoever it was claiming that it hadn't been yet. Was it public?
But that's it was. It is. It's on the Vatican's website.
Okay.
I mean, it's a hard thing to read. It's a hard thing to understand. Let me see if I can find that.
I found it here.
Okay.
I think I found it. Their website's not very good though.
It's been the same ever since it went online. I mean, it's always been that same type of background, kind of that same layout.
Yeah, it looks like it says here, as the second millennium gives way to the third, Pope John Paul II has decided to publish the text of the third Secret of Fatima. But it's got like a lot of here I'll share it on my screen if it'll work. Oh, I don't know if this is. Oh no, there it is. That's the wrong one. There we go.
There we are.
But it's got a lot of like.
Oh gee.
See, it's got like the I don't even know what you call that. Coding error, I guess, on the back end with whatever they're
might have to hit
custom
refresh
CMS.
on that.
Oh, we got a little bit better. I don't know. I think it's on their
Here
end.
it is.
Okay.
I don't know. Usually I just hit refresh. There it goes. No,
It's a little bit better. I mean, you can still see some issues here. Secret. It's probably because I did a Control F on it, maybe, is what I'm guessing. I don't know.
Now,
Yeah,
kind of an out of topic type thing. Have you ever seen The Scarlet and the Black?
Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's with Gregory Peck. He plays Irish Monsignor working in the Vatican during World War II, who helps to hide the Jews and the Allies.
I have not seen that, but it does sound really good.
It's really good. I think it might be on Amazon. It has Christopher Plummer as the head Nazi.
Oh, wow. Okay. Kate, my wife and I are, we had taken a pause, but we have been going through the extended editions for Lord of the Rings. And we finished Two Towers, and we haven't started Return of the King yet. So we got to get back on that. I was watching Wheel of Time, but I think I'm done. I probably shouldn't have even gone as far as I went.
Well, don't tell Lady Gravemaster.
I mean, she knows it's terrible too. So we covered her.
Oh, I think she'll rip you for it.
Of what? Watching it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what she said, it's not. No, PJ maybe. I think. Do you know PJ maybe?
No, I do not.
Okay, he's a Scottish YouTuber. He joins me on my Friday streams from time to time. He basically said the first episode ruined the whole thing for him.
Oh, the first episode is absolutely abominable. But there's only 8 episodes. I think there's 6 out now. I've only watched the first 5, so I haven't watched the last one. But I covered Lady Gravemaster's review of the first 3 episodes. She was on point. But yeah, I'm actually going to cover a story tomorrow. Brandon Sanderson is criticizing some big points of the show. And he's the guy who finished the books after Robert Jordan passed away. So he's like, they got the characterization of this character completely wrong. Like, this works if you were doing this other character, but for this character, they should not be doing that. So he's got a bunch of things like that. So I'm gonna cover some of his criticisms. I don't know. I was really hoping it would improve, and I should know better. I think it's because I like Wheel of Time so much. Like, I'm a huge fan of the.
I've never heard of it till recently.
Oh, it's a fantasy series. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. I like really enjoyed it when I was in high school, but I mean, there's some things that probably are not Christian. Like, so there's
I hang around the Friday Night Tights crew.
Well, so like the main character eventually gets with 3 women. There's a whole aja of like the Aes Sedai, which are these sorceress women, and they take multiple warders, and some aja they don't have warders. Some aja take warders, but they're just like really close friends. And they like all Aes Sedai and warders they do a bonding ritual, so they're like bound to each other, like spiritually and almost like physically.
Sounds kind of well,
but they're not married or anything,
right?
And they're not sexual. But then
the bounding reminds me. I'm reading the sequel to Something Is Killing the Children right now. It's on issue number 2 right now, and it's it's focused right now on a same-sex relationship. I'm going to give it a try. I mean, I've invested the last 2 years in the whole story and everything.
Right.
And I think, I don't know if I told you, but I have a first print of it.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen with the first print.
I think you showed that to me.
Justin, who's joined us a few times, is having that thing graded, but it's also going to be signed by the artist and the cartoonist.
Okay.
Before it gets slabbed. So that $4
so you can never read it again.
Investment, that $5 investment is going to be worth about a few grand.
Oh wow, there you go. Are you planning on selling it, or are you just gonna hold on?
I'll hang on to it.
Okay.
I'll hang on to it. The other thing, and as I tell everybody that I mention it to, it's in the lockbox. It's in the bank lockbox. I was into baseball cards when I was a kid. I just gave away like 9/10 of them to a parishioner's grandson. But I got into it again about 10 years ago. I have a Mike Trout rookie card.
Okay. I'm not huge into baseball, so I don't know who that
is. He's like I paid $68 for a PSA 10. That's like the Gem Mint thing, kind of like the comic books and everything.
Okay.
That sucker is now selling for anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000.
Wow. Woo. I collected NASCAR cards because that's what I was into when I watched. I mean, I'm back into it now, but I don't really watch. I watch like the main ones, but I really like watching the short track guys that are like late models and like modifieds and stuff. I like watching the the smaller tracks, local tracks, rather than like the big circuit. Like I watch the big circuit, but I don't know, like there's something missing from it where you get the excitement, you get the personalities clashing, you'll get like passions flaring. And they probably passions flaring a little bit too much sometimes in the pits. There's this one happened last year, so it was COVID, and I think it was like one of the first races fans were allowed back at the short track I go to, and huge wreck in turn 2, and these two guys have like huge rivalry. The two guys that really got wrecked, but it wasn't even there. They didn't even wreck each other. It was like a third car came in and wrecked, hit them, but you don't know that when you're getting wrecked like that, right? Like you don't know that this, even if the guy on the radio is telling you, hey, it wasn't his fault. Like you're like, this guy's always been at me. Like he's getting the blame, right?
Yeah.
And so the guy, after the two cars are wrecked, sitting up against the wall. One guy gets out of his car, jumps up on the wall.
Didn't that make national news?
It did make a pretty big news. But he went and cannonballed into the windshield of the other guy, and the other guy was unconscious. So people made a big deal of that, but he doesn't know that. He's just assuming that he wrecked him. And I mean, these guys they went after each other. Like I watched them the year before, and if they didn't wreck each other, they probably could have won a lot more races than what they did. But they would always end up wrecking each other. And then the king of late model stock racing, Philip Morris, would just kind of cruise on by and take the victory because they wrecked each other. So
Oh dear. So are they the coof thing? Are they still taking it seriously out your area?
I mean, so Kate and I went to DSW because I was looking for a pair of new shoes. My shoes are really old, and I just needed a new pair. And I think everyone in there that we saw was wearing masks except for us. At church, it depends. Like, I mean, it's probably like 75-25 non-maskers to maskers. I mean, when I went to a clinic to get diagnosed, and the doctor was just like just take what you're doing with over the counter stuff. Like, he wasn't really nervous. Like, I think because he listened to our lungs, and both our lungs were fine. And I guess that's like the real worry is if there's like blockage in the lungs or something like that.
I get mine checked on Tuesday.
But if you go, yeah, I have been following a little bit. I know you had the the blood clot.
I thought I had COVID because I was out to dinner about a month ago with 7 people, and within a few days, 2 of them came down with it. So when I shortly after that started developing pain in the chest and short breathing, I thought I had it.
Right.
So that's why I canceled the mask, because I mean, okay, I don't want to be the harbor of death because my parish is old. I mean, it's not meant to sound bad or anything, but my parish is high risk. The last thing I want to do is start spreading it. So I got tested, and that's when I got admitted because it turned out I had blood clots. Now, how in the world that happened, I have no clue.
I mean,
scary thing.
It is a symptom of the vaccine.
But the thing is, if it happened about a month after getting the second shot, maybe I would buy that. But it's been over 7 months since I had the shots.
I don't know. I just know that is a symptom. So I don't know if there's like a time frame for that. I haven't really done a deep dive into like the time frame when those symptoms show up. I just do know that is a symptom. The CDC recognizes
I've heard that, and I actually asked my doctor in the hospital about that, and they're like, "No."
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I'm not gonna. You probably know better than what I do.
I get checked up. I get checked up on Tuesdays. Yeah. So, nice thing is I get away for a few days. I get to see some of my priest brothers, which I haven't seen in ages.
Oh, that's good.
I think I told you, just to let you know how remote I am, the nearest Best Buy, and I told Odin this, the nearest Best Buy is 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow. That's really far.
Yeah.
But back to your original question, like if you get outside, so like I live inside the Beltway here in Virginia. If you go like where the racetrack is it's about an hour south of me. You go down to the racetrack, it's completely different. People down there do not wear masks. When you go to the racetrack, no one is wearing a mask. You might see someone, like one person, walk in, and then by the time they see that no one is wearing it, their mask is gone too. I have no idea like what like vaccination rates are or anything like that, but you get further south in Virginia, people are a lot more they don't buy into the mask.
Well, congrats to your new governor.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he starts in January, right? Youngkin. We'll see what he does. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have, like, the last Republican guy we had was a total, like, just, he was like, I don't know. I think he got involved in some kind of like pay to play scandal where people were like giving him huge donations, and he was just kind of a bought and paid for stooge. I can't even remember his name, but like hopefully Youngkin will be decent. I mean, he's like, the biggest thing I like is that he really has to go after the CRT stuff in the schools, and hopefully Winsome Sears, who just was elected lieutenant governor, really pushes on that. And because I remember she did some MSNBC interview or something, and the woman was like, "It's not in the curriculum," and she was like, "No, it is." Like, it totally is.
She was trying to get Joy Reid to have her on her show because Joy Reid was attacking her, basically saying she's a blackface white puppet.
Yeah, I think she did. It might have been CNN. I don't remember. She did it with I thought when I heard the clip, I thought it was like Dana Lash, but I think it's Dana Bash. And I was like, why would Dana Lash be doing that? She's like the conservative. Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, right, there's that Dana Bash woman. And I think she's CNN, actually, if I remember correctly. I have to like double check that. But yeah, Winsome did a thing with her. But yeah, I think that you really need to just deliver on those big things. Deliver on CRT. I want him to roll back all the gun laws that they passed. Because they passed a ton of gun laws in like the 4 years that they were in charge of basically everything. So we'll see what happens. Because they changed how like you can pass down your firearms from like your family. They changed like it takes a lot longer to get firearms now. So like you have like a limit, like there's like a time limit now. If you buy one, you have to wait a certain number of times to get your second one. So there's like stuff like that that they changed a lot of and really kind of put a hamper on stuff. So they need to roll that stuff back. But yeah, the CRT stuff is the biggest stuff that they really need to do. I don't know. It's gonna be difficult. I mean, because it's gonna be hard to like. Yeah, you can remove it from the curriculum, but I mean, most of my opinion is that a lot of these teachers are all bought in, so it's gonna be hard to like stop them from like teaching that unless you're actually like listening to them, and that's what the homeschool, like when they were doing that, or not it wasn't like homeschool, it was like the web school or whatever with COVID. You knew what there was going on.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to know because I think the kids most of the kids are back in school now.
See, that's the thing in my diocese. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was done. I said we'll see.
Oh no, I was just going to say in my diocese. I mean, one of the things we've done is made tuition really cheap, so that anybody that wants a Catholic education can get it. So my last two parishes were of 40 families and 20 families. We were assessed between the two of them about 57 grand a year to help support the local Catholic school. But our tuition at the last school was about $2,300 a year.
I think that's what my parents paid when I went to Catholic school from K through 8. I have to look up what it is. I haven't like looked because I just I mean, Georgiana's, my daughter's still a ways away. She's still got a couple years. Yes. But I do know one of the families that we've met at church, she actually pulled her kids out of the Catholic school and is homeschooling them now because they're requiring the masks, and she totally disagrees with that. And that'll be for us, like that's a big thing for me. I'm like totally against
hopefully that'll be done by then.
Yeah, I've made a promise to myself that she'll never have to put on a mask. I'll never put a mask on her. If she wants to put on a mask when she's 18, she can. But I won't be putting one on her until then.
And the thing I told my people is I'm not going to wear. I'll wear the mask maybe during the winter. That's just mostly because I don't want to catch a cold again.
Right.
I'm kind of done taking the whole thing seriously because I was the only one wearing a mask. And again, it's just I was paranoid with 3 parishes, the average parishioners in their 50s, 60s, whatever. I just don't want to be the harbinger of death, spreading it between the 3 parishes. I mean, we had one death at my one parish. We had a little mini outbreak after that.
I remember that. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of look at it, to me, like one of the big things that when I talk to my parochial vicar, where I attend mass, and I remember like we shut down services. We were all watching online. Easter service was canceled. You weren't able, like you watched it online. A priest was saying the mass by himself. There might have been like one person helping out, and like the music person was there to sing. But my parochial vicar said they like learned a big lesson from that, and he thinks that they're not going to do that ever again because communion is so important to us, and we like people weren't receiving Holy Communion for weeks, months in a lot of places, and
we were shut down for maybe 2 months at the most.
Yeah,
But
I think 2 months, might have been 3. I felt it was a
but I'll
while.
tell you that I took it seriously in the beginning. Like I said, I mean, because there was a lot of unknowns, but now if they tell us
Right.
to shut down, it's like go pound sand. I'm not shutting down.
Yeah, that's
I
kind
mean,
of what he was intimating to me. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that seemed to be what I was getting out of it too. Um, I think they were just able to really easily manipulate people because you didn't have a lot of information, and there was
yeah.
contradictory information coming out, and people like they were just able to really fearmonger is I guess is the word. But
Well, and
I do think
you had like 20,000 people protesting for Black trans lives matters and all that in New York City, and
right,
yet we're supposed to wear a mask.
right, and not serve your parishioners and
Or
your flock.
it's okay because Biden won and the end of Trump is done. We can all go party in the streets.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry. I mean,
yeah,
they lost me. They lost me last summer. I mean, I pretty much was kind of recluse the first few weeks of this thing, but then when you see the double standard, it's like I
yeah. I
can't
guess
say what I want to say.
I had been kind of following it before it like hit mainstream news because I was following Jack
Mhm.
Posobiec, and he had been kind of really following what was going on with this stuff. Like like I think it started hitting like started seeing stuff in December, definitely in January. What was going on in China, and the big fear was like it was actually like legit because you saw these like um satellite heat shots of like
Crematoriums.
factories or like crematoriums, and they were just like, oh, they're just like burning these people who died, and who knows what actually happened there. Like because it's hard to like, I mean, it's hard to really know now what actually. I wonder if there's ever actually been any follow up on that. But so I kind of saw that, so there was some like legitimate fear, but I don't know. For me, just personally, I never like if I was gonna get sick, I was gonna get sick, and I mean God's gonna take care of me, one way or the
Yeah.
other. So I'm gonna pray
I
for him to
mean,
heal me.
for
Clearly,
myself, well, for me, the reason I took the whole thing was I'm fat. I'm in my late 40s. I mean, I got high blood, not to give my whole litany of medical woes and all that, but if I caught the thing, I'd be in probably trouble. And I don't know if I told you, we lost one of our priests who was a year older than me to it. He
right? Yeah,
died of it.
I did see that. Yeah, my wife's uncle actually had COVID, but he ended up contracting pneumonia too, which is kind of what happens when you get a cold.
Yeah.
And it's not the cold that kills you. You get pneumonia afterwards, and it kills you, because your immune
Well, I'll
system's
tell
already
you,
been weakened from the cold.
I'm feeling my age because I just got the pneumonia shot when I was in the hospital. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, he passed away just recently, and I just seen him in October. Met him for the first time in October for his dad's 90th birthday party, and he's no longer with us now.
I
And
see. I
it's
think I lost.
shocked.
I
They put
hit
him on the
something.
they did the intubation, and that was it. Which that
I
seems to
hit something
be
wrong.
a big
But yeah,
a big thing too. Is once you get on that intubator, your
that's what.
chances
Well, Cardinal Burke survived.
significantly. Yes, he did, and I would wager he survived because he had lots and lots of prayer warriors
Yeah, yeah.
interceding for him as well. I think a lot
Well,
of people
one
were
of
praying
our
for him. I know I
priests,
was. I prayed
one
for him
of
every
our
day, actually.
priests he just got off a ventilator. He's probably 28, and his lungs stopped working.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
He had the coof.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not deadly. Like
I
I'm
know,
clearly
I know.
clearly, I just don't think I don't buy into the mask stuff.
No,
The vaccine stuff,
I
there's so much data on it now where like it doesn't it's not effective after a certain amount of
you know
time. You have
I
side
told my
effects
people
to
last
it that we
summer.
still don't even know. So
I told
that's
Yeah,
where I'm at. Like, and then you got a study
No,
from
and I
Portugal.
agree.
It's like,
I agree.
there's a study in Portugal that I saw that's like, if you take ivermectin as a prophylactic, you won't even contract it. So like, what's really going? Why aren't we parachuting in ivermectin to people? Like,
And for
like
the
I don't know.
YouTube overlords, we're not medical experts.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Please don't
I read a
me.
study from Portugal. That's all I'm saying. I'm just cite the study.
But you
What
know,
the
the thing I
study
told
said,
my
that's
people
all.
last summer is, it's like I'm still taking the thing seriously, but I'm very, very, very skeptical and cynical right now.
Yeah, I was actually, so that was something I was I'm at I just, so right before I came on stream, usually at 7:30 is like when bedtime starts and we say our rosary and we do our I reread the daily readings. So for Sunday, obviously we went to mass this morning, and then I'll reread them at night again. Most days I'm not a daily mass goer. I try and go on Saturday for daily mass, but I haven't started going daily.
Great. If you're not, it's not required.
But but I do read the readings.
It's a good habit,
right? Yeah, no, I know, and I do the readings. We do the readings every night, and but anyway, so I just and then after we do the reading, I used to. You recommended this to me though. I was reading through the app. There was a couple meditations afterwards, but now I play the In Conversation with God from the Relevant Radio app, and so we listened to that, and I just listened to that, and it was actually talking about happiness, and happiness and joy is like fundamental to being a Christian, and we have this fundamental happiness, and I just found that that's just something that I feel like I kind of need to work on. I mean, like we were talking about being cynical, like I run our stream on Wednesdays, it's called the Black Pill stream. But that's more like the entertainment being black pilling you on how terrible the entertainment is, because clearly if you watch our show, I do have like an optimistic view of the world because I clearly believe in the resurrection and of Christ. I know. I actually run it late for like East Coast or for West Coast people, because otherwise I almost want to start it earlier, because I'm kind of whipped at like 11, 2 hours in.
I look at the next day. It's like, good heavens, you guys went 3 hours.
We usually go 3, sometimes 4 if we're really going strong. But we have a good time there. That is something I'm trying to work on. Is having that like Christian joy, that Christian happiness, because we know that Christ is our Savior. He's there with us through the bad times and the good times. He's always there. He's always present. I think one of the best memes I've ever seen is this astronaut out in space, and he's like thinking that he's like, I'm alone now, and then there's like Christ there, and he's like, you've never been alone, because he's always there with you. And I just think that mention
one of the things you might be able to get some good out of, and I'm not going to tell you to buy the books. This is my breviary, but I don't know how familiar you are with the Liturgy of the Hours.
I'm probably not familiar.
Okay. Well, Odin's doing the Latin, and God bless him. I can't, because I like knowing what I'm praying and being able to actually pray the words that I'm praying.
It doesn't have the English next to it, because I have my missal has the Latin and then the English next to it.
Oh no, this is not a missal. This is
right. Yeah, I know. No, I know it's not a missal. I was just seeing. You said Odin was doing Latin.
Oh, but my missal does have it. I have one of those.
I assume
it's just right on my bookcase.
I would assume a Latin breviary would also have the English next to it, right? So you do know what you're. No, it doesn't. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because we have.
I would think I want that.
St. Peter. We have the Fraternity of St. Peter, and they pray the Latin breviary.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but this is the daily missal that I have. Okay, so from Scepter.
Oh, mine. I don't know if mine is. This is mine. Mine's from Midwest Theological Forum.
Yeah, that's Scepter. Okay. That's Opus Dei.
Oh, that's Scepter too. Okay, yeah. I got it from
MTF is out of Chicago.
I ordered it from the Catholic store, I think.
Yeah.
$80 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Midwest
Definitely
Theological
worth
is.
it.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. There.
I love all the
Anything from
prayers.
MTF is very solid.
I love all the
but
prayers in the morning. The pre-mass prayers, the after-mass prayers. I say all of those. They're so powerful.
Let me grab the other
I
one
mean,
then.
I even say that they have like regular prayers, and I say all those in the morning, starting with the morning offering, consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. But yeah, so you have a liturgy of the hours.
Oh yeah, so this is one of 4.
Okay, so that's something you do every day?
Yeah, well, I'm under. Okay, so there's a few exceptions when I don't have to. But I am under pain of mortal sin unless I'm dispensed to pray this. I am not under pain of mortal sin to say daily mass.
Okay, as a priest?
Yeah, as a priest on the day of my ordination, I made a promise to pray this every day for the rest of my life. Now, in our diocese,
all priests take that?
Yeah,
that's for all priests. Okay, sorry, I'm not.
No, that's fine. So these are the same prayers.
Still ignorant on
and
that stuff.
I mean, this is the same prayers that all the bishops are supposed to be praying. The key word is are supposed to.
Right.
Some don't, but no.
Hopefully they go to confession if they're mortal sins. If you don't pray it.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't take it seriously. But this week I was dispensed 4 times from it. Because with the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, I had 3 masses on Tuesday. Well, I had the morning mass on Tuesday. Well, you saw in the chat thing. So my alma mater is St. Ambrose. So I will always celebrate mass for St. Ambrose. Then I had 2 vigils for the Immaculate Conception. I had the 3 masses on Wednesday for the Holy Day. Then on Thursday, I had to drive for a deanery meeting. So if you drive over 100 miles, you're dispensed by a rosary, or if it's for a deanery event, which it was. And then today I had the 3 masses. So, I mean, the idea is to, not to burden you, but I mean, if you want to take the dispensation, you can. And I do when I have it. But the idea of it is it's broken up into 5 different hours. You got morning prayer, daytime prayer, evening prayer, night prayer. And then the reason I'm mentioning it is the office of readings, which I think you might get something out of. Because the idea of it is over the course of 4 weeks, you pray all 150 Psalms.
Okay, wow.
And the office of readings, it's not only the 3 Psalms, but then there's a reading. So like for today, I was dispensed, so I didn't do it. But the reading was from the book of the prophet Isaiah. And then the second reading is usually a church father or a document of the church or a writing of the saint. So today was from a sermon by St. Augustine.
Okay.
And I actually, just to let you know, I actually do mark mine. If there was something in there that really hit me. But what I marked is...
I don't know why, but I never liked writing in my books. I felt like there was I felt like I was doing something so terrible.
No. I mean, it's good.
I know it's not. That was just something that I always was weird to me.
But the thing that I liked about today's reading, the reason I marked it, I don't remember when, but St. Augustine says, "Do you need proof that the voice passes away, but the divine word remains? Where is John's baptism today? It served its purpose and it went away. Now it is Christ's baptism that we celebrate. It is in Christ that we all believe. We hope for salvation in him. This is the message the voice cried out." And then it just goes on and on. But I mean, that's the thing that's really neat about this. So like for tomorrow, let me just look. Tomorrow is a discourse on the contemplation of God by William St. Thierry Abbot.
So I wasn't specifically doing that, but in my morning prayers, and I've kind of gotten out of the habit of it, I actually was using it's right here underneath my missal. I was reading from Jose Maria Escriva's Escriva's Friends of God, and I was reading
Awesome.
I would read one of his homilies. I get homily helper.
I call it homily helper from his writings.
Yeah, his stuff is really good. But I got to get back to it because I was incorporating that into like my morning prayers. I would read one of his homilies as well. And I have to get back into that though because I kind of fell out of the habit.
I don't know if I told you, but I was involved in the work before I entered the seminary, and
Yeah, I think
I was a cooperator.
Yeah, I think you told me. We've had one come. So we have a men's meditation every third Thursday of the month. And
nice. With the priest of the work.
So we had one come in from DC, from their place in DC, and he knew San Jose Maria Escriva.
Oh, nice.
Met him and worked with him. So it was really funny, like hearing him actually tell like stories. He told the story about this this donkey. He wanted to be called a donkey because the donkey was like just laborer. And so he told that story. But no, I don't know. I'm not, my parochial vicar hasn't, I don't think he is part of the work. He just participates them heavily. And I know one of the guy who does organize it is Opus Dei.
See, you're lucky. You're near what's called a center.
Yes.
And that's where they live. Right. Catholic Information Center, if I remember correctly, is their house.
I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah.
But we used to have a priest from Chicago come out to do day of recollections for the priests. But the problem with us is we're so far removed from a center that we don't have a presence of the work. We don't get to have a priest come.
I think they do like summer camps too, though. They like from what because I was talking to a couple of the guys who attend, and they have kids that are like teenagers, so a lot older than mine.
I've been on their retreats. I've been on their retreats as a layperson, and I greatly enjoyed them. Yeah,
they look like a lot of fun, and it sounds like their sons had a lot of fun doing it because it also looks like they give you good life skills too. Is what it looked like. Stuff that they don't teach you in public schools anymore, like woodworking or like wood shop or stuff like. And I think I think they had, because there was like three or four different things they break that you like focus on as well. I think one of them was like programming, like computer programming.
Interesting. I was going to show this other one. This is also by MTF. I don't know if you've ever seen this before.
No, I have not.
But this is a book that they give out to the seminarians at the North American College in Rome. And the thing that I really like about this book is I have my grandmother's prayer book from the 40s.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the prayers I really loved, and they don't have that reprinted anymore. But a lot of the prayers are in this book.
Okay, that's good.
And I mean, the thing that's nice is it's just kind of like a manual. Well, it's called manual prayers. It is. I mean, they within this, they have the Stations of the Cross meditations by Escriva. They got the Rosary meditations by Escriva. They got the morning prayer, evening prayers, devotions to Saint Joseph. They got examination of conscience, prayers before Mass, prayers after Mass.
I might have to grab that different things. Because that sounds like it has lots of good stuff in it.
I'll send you the link later.
I did just buy this. I just bought a copy of this for my aunt. It's called Interior Freedom. I don't know. The light. There you go. By Father Jacques Philippe. I guess he's a French priest.
I've heard of him.
And our pastor highly recommends that book, and I highly recommend it too, because I like, you feel the Holy Spirit almost like coming out of the pages, speaking to you. It's really powerful stuff. I mean, like literally every paragraph, there's something like significant that you can pull from it. That's just how powerful that book is. Like it's really, really good.
See, I need to be forcing myself to do more reading. I mean,
I'm talking about doing reading, but like I'm right there with you. I was like, I probably should do some reading, and I'm like I'm so far behind. I think I have like I have the Rabbi's like comic.
Oh, I'm still waiting for mine.
I've got it right here. Like I was having like that's my issue now. I have all this stuff like It's all like on here. Like I don't even know what these are. I think these are comics, but they're this is Expendables. I know what that is because it's got a sign on it. But I don't even know what this one is. But I know they're comics that I bought. I just haven't. You can see they're still in the package, so I got to read them. I just like with work and running around chasing little girl. We've just been, and then COVID and everything. It's just. And then,
you got a lot more going on than I do. I mean, the main thing I have is to do mass.
You're taking care of a whole parish.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot going on during the week. I mean, you have morning mass, and
you don't have to
you got to pray the liturgy.
Homebound. You don't do visits to home?
I do that, but I don't have as many.
Okay. Right. I guess because there's rural, so
that too.
Right. So you have less population density. I know that they're actually really been recruiting lay people to help with that.
Yeah, and I mean, in your diocese, you need it because it's impossible. I mean, when I was in the bigger city, the only time I made visits to the people were on First Friday.
Right.
Because there's so many visits.
I'm in Arlington. I think it's one of the biggest in the country. So
well, I didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah. Well, no.
People know where. Yeah, I live in Virginia.
Okay. Well,
people know I live in Northern Virginia.
You have the capital
I live in
thing.
I live in Alexandria. People know. I mean, I say that, so it's like, it's okay.
Well,
yeah. So
as I told you,
there's only one diocese there. What's that?
Well, as I told you, I went to seminary with a few of your priests.
Yes, up in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of them go to the one in Maryland now.
Mount St. Mary's.
Mount St. Mary's. I think one of my classmates is there right now, and I don't know where we had a seminary because we have seminarians visit, and I was doing a men's Bible group on Saturday mornings at the time, and I don't know which seminary he was going to. He had that Christian joy, like just it radiated from him.
See, because the other seminary is in Baltimore.
Right.
And I won't say what we called it. I'll put that in the private chat just because I don't want to say it out loud.
Did you ever participate in the soccer game? Because I guess they played soccer games against each other. Okay.
That took off after I left. They were doing a basketball thing.
Okay.
So, but from what I've been told, Baltimore's been improving.
Okay.
I just know, like with Philly, they sold the grounds for the seminary because I mean it's huge amount of land, and the buildings are huge. But the problem is they can't support it with the number of seminarians that they have. So they are selling they sold the grounds to the nearby hospital, and they're in the process of moving a little bit more north of Philly.
Okay.
It's just,
I
don't know. Sad. I'm not too thrilled about that.
From what I understand, I know from what I was reading, I don't know. I don't think I have it on me. It seems like we had a lot of seminarians from our diocese. It's like a whole sheet full.
Arlington is the powerhouse for vocations.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what it is now, but I mean, I actually looked into it maybe 20 some years ago.
Yeah, I know.
The bishop back then.
Yeah, and I think we have my mom actually went to elementary school with our bishop. So my mom's from outside Philly, so she grew up. That's where he's from, Bishop Burbage, and she went to elementary school with him.
Yeah, Burbage was the rector of our seminary.
Yeah. So and then I guess he was down in North Carolina, and then Pope Francis moved him to Arlington now. Yeah, I met him. I met him. I was over there in Arlington, and I got to talk. I met him in the parking lot. I was walking into the building and I met him over there. So that was I brought up my mom because I knew my mom said she knew him, and she was like, yeah, he remembered her too. and I was talking about the sisters at St. Annie's because that was the school they went to. It was St. Anastasia, but everyone called it St. Annie's. So, yeah, right outside
Is
Philly.
that the IHMs?
The what?
The IHMs?
What does that stand for?
Immaculate Heart of Mary. But we used to call it
I don't know.
I Hate Men.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my mom. I don't know.
See, that's the
I don't know
problem.
I don't know what their sisters were.
I won't get into too many stories on the live stream, but there are some songs we destroyed. We came up with our own lyrics, and I can't say them on the air. And I told some of my parishioners, I can destroy that song for you forever.
Oh no.
But I won't. But it's hard for me not to think of the lyrics every time I hear the song played. Maybe I'll say off the stream.
Maybe, yeah. YouTube me is in the chat. He says my priest at OLPH has a story like that. My mom told me later, yeah, Pete, he's the one that excommunicated me for the divorce.
Ouch. Wait, excommunicated for a divorce?
Yeah, maybe that sounds like her telling a story to him.
Oh, okay. So not literally an excommunication then.
That's kind of my takeaway. I mean, he's saying that, but it sounds like a mom exaggerating.
I'm trying to find it. I it must have been a lot earlier.
Yeah, he says here. Yeah, she was
the thing.
Yeah, he says she was resumed later.
Okay.
How does that work? I thought you're not allowed to receive communion though, right? Or like if you're like, I guess you can get a divorce, and if you're not actively dating someone or trying to pursue another marriage, right?
You know, the thing I actually had my first marriage prep, my first full marriage prep in probably 5 years last week. And it's
that's
Catholic,
awesome though. That's
non-Catholic.
good.
It is, but it's like I have to refresh myself on all the stuff. But you know, the thing I told the people is the whole reason we're making you go through the hoops and the hurdles is to make sure the sacramental bond is formed. Because as I told them, it's like you're a red ball, or no, you're a blue ball, you're a yellow ball. When the bond is formed, you become one green ball. That's the bond that can't be broken. But all that the annulment is saying is something that happened prior to the marriage that prevented that bond from being formed. So as long as you're not in another relationship, dating or anything, you can still receive communion.
Okay, right. Because then you're
technically not violating your marriage vows.
Right. That's right. That's how I kind of understood it as well. Because I just went through all of that stuff, and I think I don't think we actually talked about that. I think that was just something I think I was reading the catechism or something like that, and that was like one of the parts that I read.
See, a lot of people have misconceptions on what annulments are, and I'll be honest, Ted Kennedy did not do us a favor with the ease that he got his annulments.
Right.
But I mean, the idea of an annulment is not Catholic divorce. I mean, you know, it's one of the reasons we don't allow prenups in the church, because the idea is marriage is forever, and if you have a prenup, you're saying if the marriage fails. Well, you're planning what if. But the idea is you're supposed to be going into it as a lifelong commitment. But what if? Well, there's no what ifs. Right.
Well, you also, from what I was listening to, I don't know if it was a homily. It was on, I forget which the YouTube channel is. I can never remember that YouTube channel. It was Father Ripperger, and he was talking about that. And you also get like a guardian. You get another guardian angel when you're married, and priests get one as well.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He says you receive a guardian angel and another guardian angel for your married, and then he says you get one also when you receive your sacrament.
Huh. Yeah,
it was a whole thing on angels. It was like an hour-long thing on angels, and I was just.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't think people realize, but like individual towns have their own angel.
Right.
I mean, nations have their angels. I mean, again, you know, angels are not these little cute little babies with wings. I mean, that's the problem. I think C.S. Lewis or Chesterton described it It's something that allows our mind to grasp something that's beyond us.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you read the descriptions in the Bible, they're not they're it's like a like a
Let me see
ball
if
of
I can find
light.
that.
There's one where it's like very strange description. Well, that's why these people are like afraid, because like the shepherds are afraid. Mary is even kind of like taken aback, right? Because it's not, it's like something, you're seeing something that you've never seen before.
Right. Oh, I'm trying to find,
because the angel
there was
the
a
angel,
meme of,
yeah, Gabriel tells Mary, like, do not be afraid.
right. And the thing is, angels are spirits. They don't have material. So, I mean, if they take physical form, it might be something that we can comprehend.
Right.
Oh, there was a thing where there's like a guy on the hospital bed next to a girl basically saying, "Are you an angel?" And she's thinking it's all sweet and everything. But in the background is like the big, like the biblical image of an angel.
Okay. So, I wonder if it's I think I've seen the video. The guy's coming out of a coma or something, and it's his wife, and he doesn't realize that he's married. Maybe, and they put an angel in there. I don't know.
No, this was a cartoon. This is a cartoon.
Oh, it's a cartoon.
Meme.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that one. If you find it, you'll have to share.
I will.
Sounds
I
like
will.
a good one.
I usually put that stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, but yeah, I was listening to that. I've got I've listened to the first 25 minutes of it, but I was listening to this Pints of Aquinas podcast with this, because I listened to a clip of it, and it's with I hadn't heard of him before, but it's with Dr. Ralph Martin, and I really was liking what he was saying.
Oh, Ralph Martin's good.
Yeah, so I've listened to the first 25 minutes. I need to listen to the rest, because I think it's like 2.5 hours, and I just haven't gotten around to the
Kraft?
rest of it. Peter, what's the last name?
Peter Kraft.
I don't think so.
He teaches at Boston College. I use a lot of his stuff. I'm using a book of his, which is a catechism. It's based on the catechism, but it's going through the faith. And I've been using that in my RCIA class this year.
How do you spell his last name?
Krefft.
Okay.
He used to do these books. The what?
2 F's or 1 F?
2 F's, I believe.
2 F's, okay.
But he does these books, or at least he used to, where it's like a conversation between 3 people. So the one book I bought, I haven't read it yet, is between JFK, Luxus Hardy from Brave New World, and C.S. Lewis, because they all died on the same day.
Oh, wow. And so they're like meeting in heaven? Or?
Well, it's between heaven and hell, I think it is. Let me grab it real quick.
Okay.
It's just right on my bookcase. Because I was looking at it the other day. I think I got it. Oh, where the heck? Oh. That's the problem. I get too many books.
My bookshelf, like most of my comics are at my parents' house, in storage, right now. But like even my bookshelf is just getting overwhelmed. And I don't even I have like a bunch of like figures that I want to get out, but I don't want to get them out because then I know I gotta pack them back up probably soon, because I think we might be moving in the spring. See how that goes. Oh, that looks fun. Oh yeah. So it's kind of like a take on Lewis's screw tape.
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
But then I think I also showed you I dug this out since it was right next to it.
Yeah, I think I have that too.
Again, I love his stuff. I mean, his quotes are good homily helper.
Yeah, I've got it here too in this soft bag.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a book that's on the read list that
I gotta
clearly
answer
see
this one on here.
hasn't been well loved yet.
Wicked Pinto says, pretty sure JFK's in hell. Well, not necessarily, because I believe he did receive the last blessings of the church at Parkland. And, that's the main thing we pray for. Is one of the things that comes with the last rites is the apostolic pardon, which is not only the forgiveness of all sin, but punishment due to sin. So I don't want to say it's a get out of purgatory card, but it is, but it isn't.
I know that I think I've told you this, that Blessed Elvidge had a vision of Mussolini in purgatory, appeared to her, and he asked her for her intercession, and she prayed for him, and 5 years later he appeared to her again and said that he had made it into heaven and he was no longer in purgatory. But he described purgatory as it was really bad for him. The purifying fire. I can
imagine. Follow-up question was, did he confess? The thing is, the apostolic pardon is given whether one is conscious or not. And we always do the assumption that if they were conscious, they would ask for it. So, no, one of the great joys I had as a priest was about 8 years ago. I got to be at my grandmother's bedside as she's dying, and then I was able to give her the last rites, and I gave her the apostolic pardon, and right before she took her last breath, I gave another apostolic pardon, because there's two forms that one can choose, and I like both of them.
Right.
So I usually get both when I give the last rites.
That's one of the things that so I know you offer masses in for people. How does how does that actually work? You just go up to should I just go up to my priest and be like, I'd like you to offer a mass for my grandfather?
Yeah, that's the thing. So as a priest, I can take a stipend. So usually they have a suggested stipend for the priest for doing the sacraments. So in our diocese, it's usually suggested $10 for a mass. Now, if somebody can't afford it, we're not going to say no. You can't have mass because you can't pay. But so I usually take a stipend for one of the masses. So like for today, 3 masses. One is always a stipend mass. Canon law requires us to offer a mass for all the people. And it doesn't matter how many parishes you have. One of the masses every weekend has to be for the people. The third mass I usually offer for my own intentions. So today, because I'm into genealogy, I did it for my great-great-grandparents, Patrick and Winfred Doyle.
Right.
I love
that's what I was going to ask. Because we're obviously called to pray for the souls of our family. How obviously I knew my grandfather. I didn't know my other grandfather. I never met him. I know for a fact he wasn't Catholic. I think he might've been Southern Baptist, and I'm not sure how faithful he was, given some of those stories my dad's told of him. He was a coal miner from West Virginia. So
I'll tell you the one thing, if you know anything about moral theology, the main thing is you cannot be held accountable for a mortal sin you did not know was a mortal sin. Ignorance is we're going to be surprised how many souls are saved through ignorance.
Yeah. That's kind of I guess that's the burden we have, right, as Catholics, because we know what the mortal sins are, and what we shouldn't be doing.
And I had fun with that in high school. I had fun with that in my high school because I taught sacraments for 9 years in addition to church history. So when we got to the confession part of the sacrament, it's like, okay, what does everybody do when they turn 21? Well, you go out and get drunk. Well, if you go out and get drunk on purpose, that's a mortal sin because you're losing your free will. Now that you know it's a mortal sin, you can't say you didn't know it was a mortal sin. So if you do it, you're held accountable.
Right. Yeah, I guess I knew, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I know now clearly. I don't even drink a lot at all anymore. I might have like a beer. I might have like one beer. It's not like maybe two tops at a social thing, but it's just I just don't even. I don't know. I just kind of I kind of eschew any of that stuff. I don't. The only like drugs I'm taking are like my multivitamins. I'm like an allergy.
If I get the clearance from the doc on Tuesday, I'm going to be spending a good part of Wednesday at the cigar bar.
Oh, I'm not against it. Like if I was, there was this. I went and visited my cousins in Denver like a couple years ago before the marijuana stuff took effect. Because from what I understand now, Denver it just smells like marijuana now. But there's a German pub, I guess is what you would call it. It was weird because it had it was like a brew hall almost because but it's like way condensed. I don't know. Have you been to the hall in Munich?
No, I've never been to Germany.
No. I've actually been to that Hofbrauhaus in Munich where the man with the mustache was giving his. Well, the man with the mustache was giving his speeches, like because he gave speeches in there, and you can see all the stuff. Like you see all the people would like sign stuff in the wood and everything, and so I've been there. But so it was kind of like just a smaller like Hofbrauhaus type like atmosphere, and just even the way it was built. And man, and they followed like the 3 rules for a German beer. Like there's the 3 rules. And they had the best beer, like so good because it was like drinking back in Germany.
German beer
was good. So if I was if there was one of those around, I might be drinking more beer than what I do now, just because those they just taste really good. And I would be it would be like, oh, I want something different than just water. I'm gonna have a beer or whatever.
Yeah,
those monks, man, they mastered the beer. That's one of my favorite. One of my favorite beers is Franziskaner. It has the monk on the label.
See, are you familiar with the liquor chartreuse?
I've heard of chartreuse. I'm not a big fan
of the color. It's the same color, but
yeah.
I don't know how they do it. But there's like 3 monks that know the recipe, and each one knows only a third of it.
Oh, really?
So during the French Revolution, or before that, Napoleon was trying to get the recipe out of the monks, and they never gave it to him.
Nice. So I assume they pass it down within there.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how that works.
Are they all within the same society?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had it. It's good stuff. It'll clear your sinuses.
It doesn't look very good. I mean, the color is
actually it's
Here,
it's like a licorice. Is this what it is? It's a licorice.
Oh, I don't like licorice. Yeah. This is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I'm not a fan of
There's the 2 colors.
I'm not a fan of licorice. I don't like
Well,
the what is the they have something here. I think it's actually from Denmark or something that tastes like licorice, and I can't stand it.
Well, the Greek liquor ouzo is a licorice drink.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look it up. I have to find that. It tastes like a black licorice, and I don't like it.
So no, the thing that's nice while you're looking, the cigar bar I go to has Wi-Fi. They actually have really good Wi-Fi. You can smoke cigars and you can enjoy some beverages.
Sounds like a manly place.
It is.
I've always liked the look of smoking cigar. I've never the only thing I've smoked is like hookah. So and it's like
it's flavored cigars are like shoes. I mean, you get what you pay. If you want to smoke crap, not crack. But if you want to smoke crap, you're not going to pay much. But if you want to smoke a good cigar, be prepared for anywhere between $8 and $10, or even higher.
Not too bad. I don't feel like.
See, if Man of War is still watching, I joined Tim in Vegas. We went to the Monte Cristo Lounge at the Caesars, and the cigars there were $25.
Whew.
Yeah.
My father-in-law used to get like the cheap ones from like 7-Eleven, I feel like. But
Swisher
he didn't.
Sweets, probably.
Yeah, but he never smoked them. He just chewed on them. Like he never smoked. He just had them in his mouth and he would like kind of just chew on them.
Hmm.
But Jägermeister is what I was thinking about. I don't like that.
Okay.
Label.
Never had it.
It tastes like black licorice. I don't recommend
Okay.
it. I
Well,
mean, if you
maybe I'll
like
have to
black
try it one of these
licorice,
days. I love
you might
black
like it.
licorice.
Yeah, my
Probably
dad does
will.
too. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
I think I actually had it. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I got it right here. So this is what I'll be enjoying. Hopefully, Tuesday or Wednesday if I get the all clear.
That looks like a good one.
It's a Maduro. So.
Are we able to
yeah,
get the Cuban ones now? Are they still like?
I think
to get?
Biden
I thought Obama like opened it up, but I don't know what happened.
Obama opened it up, but Trump shut it.
Okay, he did. When
But
Biden hasn't really done anything.
Honestly, the only thing with the Cubans is you're just paying now to smoke a Cuban.
Because you're just paying for the
cigars,
brand.
The cigars from Latin America have really come a long way, and some of them are a lot better than Cubans.
Okay. I mean, that's what I figured. I figured it was just like kind of like a brand thing. Because it's just, they've been in so many movies and stuff. The Cubans were always the best. You got to get the Cubans.
Yeah.
And it was like, obviously, people were smuggling in cigars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few Cubans myself, Cohibas, and Cohiba is the big one. They're really good, but they are really expensive too.
Okay.
And even the non-Cuban Cohibas are very expensive.
Oh, so they probably got stuff. They probably got like a plant somewhere else.
Nicaragua. I can't say it. Nicaragua. See,
Nicaragua.
too many syllables.
Nicaragua.
Syllables. Yeah.
That's funny. Wicked Pinto, who is YouTube me in disguise.
Okay. I was wondering who. I was looking.
He
for
said
YouTube
that earlier.
when
he said he was YouTube me. He just changed his name.
Okay, I didn't see that.
It's always confusing when they do that.
Yeah,
but he's saying
I
it's
don't
Dominican.
know how.
Man.
So, but I don't know how much time you got.
Yeah.
I got a little bit more time.
I'm free. My wife is. Sure, she's probably being put down right now if she's not already. Because I'll
be out for the night within an hour.
We did all our prayers and everything, so I don't really have anything. I don't really have any. My night's pretty much open now. I don't even know. I might do some rating. We'll see. Maybe. I might watch this Ralph Martin video because I literally have like a window and it's been open on my how I have like thousands of windows. But it's been one of those things that's been in my window for like 2 weeks now. And because I just really want to watch. I like the first 25 minutes. I want to watch the rest because I thought he was making really
well, he has a show on EWTN.
He also has his own YouTube channel now too. I saw. He does it with this other guy.
I'm thinking Marcus Grodi. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Marcus Grodi.
I know he has his own YouTube channel, and apparently he's got like 25,000 subs now. And he's growing really well, so he's doing better than we are on YouTube.
Well, speaking of which, for those watching, if you're not subscribed, please do hit the bell and the button. I am now like 124 subs away from 1,000.
Nice. Yeah, make sure you do that. Hit that like button too.
But the thing is, and I agree. Gary said it is. It's not meant to be an insult, but I'm a novelty. I mean, I was talking with Ian Mega Geek. It's like I'm a priest that's a nerd. I mean, there's
a couple others.
There are.
Because I see that they follow
a lot of us that do streaming.
Right. I don't know if most priests are usually they're evangelizing through catechesis, I guess.
See, I don't know if I told you before I went into the seminary, I was a web designer.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And I did Catholic design for oh dear, I don't remember how long. I started my first website back in 95. I think I let it die when I was in the seminary just because I didn't have the time.
Yeah, I don't really do a lot of the web design. I did it earlier. I basically bought a template when I was running Bounding by myself, and I would just do some like easy stuff within the template that I could figure out.
So I gotta say hi to the old lady. Hopefully, she doesn't mind me calling her that. So, but no, that was the thing. That was the thing that was awesome about going to Vegas, meeting Gary. I have my Vegas mug here, which,
Oh, there you go.
but I
Yeah, I
mean,
met him in.
it was just really neat being able to meet people that you've been following, you've been talking to on these chats. It was just a blast. And I mean, as I told people, it's like I'm here as a nerd. I mean, the fact that I'm a priest is secondary on this thing, but I mean, I'm not going to let it affect how I talk or stuff. But I mean, it was a blast to be able to meet Gary, meet comics, Ryan and Jeremy.
Yeah, I got to meet Jeremy and Gary at New York Comic Con 2019, October 2019, because we got to see season 2. We saw the first episode of The Expanse season 2. That was crazy because I had to like save a seat and everything, and I finally got a good seat for Gary because he was like didn't want to wait in line. The line was really long. And there's like other things to do, but I was able to get him a seat, so he came in. We got him in there, and then we went and did the hangout at like this like bar, and that was really cool. Just meeting all the people that were fans of their YouTube channels. I don't think they didn't know about us. If they did,
Well,
it
you
was
guys have
because
been
Gary
growing
mentioned us on
too. I mean, you
stream.
guys have really been growing.
Yeah, so I mean, for us, like YouTube is for me because I do all the YouTube stuff. YouTube is secondary to the website, and the website is huge right now. We got approved for Facebook News in like October, or like I don't know if we got approved, but they actually started inserting us into their Facebook News thing, and it's really taken off.
I mean,
with that,
I gotta say, I mean, for me, it brings joy to be able to see you being quoted by the Critical Drinker, by all the guys that we follow with huge channels. I mean, they're always quoting Bounding into comics. I mean, for me, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we totally appreciate that. And we try and do the same thing as well. Like that's one of the big things when I really wanted to kind of grow the site was create these. I wasn't gonna do any kind of like new school theming. My ideas were all kind of old school. I want to create relationships with these people. I might not be meeting them in person or anything, but like I want to create relationships with these people. And like if they're because they're kind of in the same, we're all in the same kind of sphere. And so if they have like really good commentary, I'm gonna use it for something that we're covering.
And that's the thing I've enjoyed about our own community, the Catholic stream. I mean, just being able to get together to talk nerd stuff, talk faith, and what all.
No, yeah, I've really I've had a blast on the stream, but I've really missed the Saturday streams. Just haven't been able to make it happen with my schedule. So I'm really glad that you set up the Sunday stream. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no
it's always
problem.
good talking with you.
Usually, I had been doing the Sunday stream. I kind of stopped for a while just because when I started it, it was like 6 priests originally. And when everybody started going back to work, it was like, okay, well, I'll do a little bit of it myself. But truth be told, like I said, after 3 masses, I'm kind of tired right now.
No, I
reason why I think I'll start. That's
you're
part
limited,
of the reason
right?
I think we'll start wrapping up.
You can only do 3 masses a day, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you limited?
Yeah. 5 years ago when Christmas fell on a Monday, I had permission to do 4 masses.
Okay.
Because I had the 3 morning masses for the Sunday, and then I had to have one of the vigil masses that night.
Right. So you might with Christmas falling on a Friday.
This is my last free week before crazy because not this week, but next week, I have 2 penance services on the fourth Sunday of Advent. Then I have 2 penance services for my neighboring priest on Monday. I have a penance service at one of my missions Tuesday, another one on Wednesday, and I think that's
Is the
it.
penance
because
service
then-
you holding confession?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Well, usually I have a priest coming in to help.
Okay.
So the
Okay,
one
right.
that we have 2 Sundays from now, no, next Sunday, there's going to be 7 of us going to it. So as I told my people, it's like, go to this thing, go to a priest that doesn't know you, that you don't know, that won't recognize your voice. Because in a small parish like I have, I understand people don't want to go to their pastor because with
Right.
40 families, it's not hard to recognize voices. I understand. I don't care. I'm not hurt if you don't want to go to me. Just go to confession. I don't care who you go to. Just go.
Yeah, especially this is a time where we just read John the Baptist today, and it's a time where he's calling us to repent for Christ's coming, and it's similar, kind of a little bit similar to Easter, where Advent is a time of repentance, and we should be going to confession. I'm actually really that's what I'm saying. I like doing we have these Third Thursday meditations, and that's that's when I go to confession. So it keeps me. I'm going to confession every month when I'm attending. So I really like it. Keeps me in a habit of going to confession every month. And then I also get the benefit. So not only do I get the benefit of going to confession, but I'm also getting that meditation as well. And then you get the social time with the other guys.
I'll tell you a story offline. I'll tell you a story offline. But yeah, no, I mean, the thing I miss about being in the bigger parish is we would hear confessions for about 2 to 3 hours every night leading up to the major feast. And it was almost nonstop confessions for 2 to 3 hours. And I mean, you really are wiped out, but it's a good tired.
Our priests like to brag that they are our parish has the most confessions in the entire diocese.
I would say up until I got into smaller parishes, I would say I was hearing more confessions in a week than I do mass.
Yeah, I would. That's great.
But now it's the other way
absolutely
around.
Fantastic. Yeah. No, I mean my parish that I attend, they have confession every single day, different times during the day, and then I mean my parochial vicar tells me he's the one who married us in the church, baptized our daughter. So he did all of our pre-Cana, so we have I feel like we have a really close relationship with him, and he's the one who does the Thursday meditation, so I usually confess to him as well. Obviously confessing to Christ with him there, and I don't know where I was going with that, but I totally.
The fact. I mean, the main thing with the confessional is I can't say anything I hear outside the confession.
Right.
Which brings me to another movie. Have you seen Hitchcock's I Confess?
No, that is something on my list. Yes, because you recommended it on one of the Saturday streams. You were going through and recommending all of these really good Catholic movies, and I was like, man, gotta write this down. Gotta write this one. Sounds good too. Gotta write this down. I did watch. It's not really I don't know if you really call it a Catholic movie. Maureen O'Hara is a Catholic in the film, and I think John Wayne is as well, and it's in Ireland or whatever. And he's pursuing. Yeah, The Quiet Man. I did watch that. I really liked that. I enjoyed that. And what's interesting is Kate and I on our secular honeymoon, I guess. So we got married. We obviously had it. It wasn't really, we were married by a Protestant, 2017 on a beach in Florida. And then a year later, we went on our honeymoon to Ireland for 2 weeks. And then obviously this year is when we got married in the church. And our daughter was baptized obviously this year as well, or last year, I guess now it was, but we got married this year. And my wife converted to Catholicism this year.
I didn't know she converted.
Yeah,
I knew she was going through her CIA. I don't think I remember she converted.
Yeah, she on Easter. So did
maybe I did know that. I can't remember.
Yeah, on Easter we went to the Easter Vigil Mass, and she had her first Holy Communion,
Awesome.
Her confirmation.
What name did she take?
St. Elizabeth Ann Seton.
Okay,
because she was a convert. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton was a convert, and she's the first like American saint, and that really like
she's buried just up the road from Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, I actually drive past there all the time. Not all the time, but like, so I usually every year me and my dad go up to Carlisle for the big All Ford Nationals, so we drive past there all the time. But yeah, so like, and the priest who was doing the RCI class is the same priest who married us and everything. So, yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, no, I don't. I really don't remember what I was going
Quiet Man. You were talking about the Quiet Man.
Yeah, we were talking about the Quiet Man. Oh, that's right. I was talking about Ireland. So, we actually stayed at Ashford Castle, which is one of the like locations where they filmed, and they have all the John Wayne stuff there. That was probably like the best place, maybe second best place that we stayed. They had the best, like you were like literally living in a cat. Like they had modern amenities and everything, but I mean, there's still like a stone castle, and they had like a really like nice place where you ate down in like the basement or like the cellar, I guess. With like there was like it wasn't like mood lighting, but you were in a cellar, so. But it was really fun. I like the part where they go into like this, they just start brawling like in the middle of the street, like with
I need to see the movie. I mean, it's been on my list for a long time, but I need to see that.
I enjoyed it. It's Wicked, like YouTube Me or Wicked Pinto. I don't know. I guess he's going by Wicked Pinto now. 45-minute fight scene. Yeah, like the end of the movie, it's like John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara's brother who doesn't want her to marry him because he's jealous because John Wayne like came back to buy this property that was his family's, and he wanted that land, and so he doesn't want to. He's kind of spiteful, but they finally just kind of like brawl it out, and what happens? This is literally what my dad tells me all the time. Like back in the day, these two guys just fight it out, and then the next day they're like best friends and like hugging, and because they finally just like got it out. So
Brothers
and then Maureen O'Hara's all pissed because they're like friendly now. so it's got some good comedic moments. I enjoyed it. I really did. I did enjoy it.
Sounds good. Well, with that, I think we'll wrap up because I'm about ready to turn in for the night. I gotta be up at 5. So,
oh yeah.
Who do you got? What do you got coming up on Wednesday?
I think we'll just have like a normal stream. Just be me, Spencer, and Josh, who's also one of our writers, Josh Berger, who is a Brit who lives in Chile. I don't know if I guess I can say that. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know, but he's Brit.
It's not like we're going to take a road trip down there.
You'll hear his accent. He's the guy who mainly covers a lot of our like celebrity news. So he's kind of like our celebrity expert guy, and we had him last week, so we'll have him again this week. Don't really have any special guests at this point, but I know we'll have a lot to cover. Like I said, I got this Wheel of Time story that I'm going to do with Brandon Sanderson critiquing a lot of that. The West Side Story, I'll be covering that. Absolutely bombed at the box office. And then Spielberg said something. He said another asinine thing I saw, like trying to promote his movie with like the Latinx stuff. So I'll probably, I don't know, I might do 2 stories on that. We'll see. I'll probably do the box office thing today, like tomorrow, and then maybe do a Spielberg one on Tuesday. And then the Snow White actress who was also in West Side Story, Rachel Zegler, who's like the anti-police person and really doesn't like Jeremy Renner, was like basically using all of his ex-wife's lawsuit allegations in like the custody dispute as like fact, and like just really like slam Jeremy Renner. She's claiming now that Snow White is like only made for like to be kissed by the prince. And that was like the whole purpose of the original film.
I saw a story that they got permission from the Orwell family to retell 1984 from Julia's viewpoint.
Yes, you saw that if you saw that, hopefully it was on Bounty in the Comics because Spencer wrote that
It
story.
wasn't. It was
Okay, well,
English
Spencer
news
covered
site
that
I
too.
saw.
Yeah, Spencer covered that, and yeah, we covered that last
Like,
week.
I don't want to see that.
So-
I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to know anything about it. It's like
It's
Don't mess with the
literally
original.
1980. It's 1984 coming to life. That's literally what it is. And then I got there's a Star Wars interview that just dropped, which is interesting. It talks about George Lucas actually had plans to do another trilogy that would have actually been The Fall of the Empire, and the original plans for Return of the Jedi was actually Boba Fett and just rescuing Han Solo. So I'm going to be covering a little bit of that, and because there's some pretty interesting things in there. They had to change one of the bounty hunters' names because the name they originally had sounded like a curse word in another language. So they changed that. They don't do that anymore. I think they actually embrace that stuff now. So that's interesting. So I thought it was interesting. I read the interview from one of the guys who was like the publicist for Lucasfilm through the original Star Wars and Empire. So and then he left because Lucas, I guess, was moving everything up to Northern California, and he didn't want to do that. And he had told him that he wasn't going to do the other trilogy. So he's like, I need to go. This job's going to end. So he started his own consulting firm, and he's had all the major Hollywood studios as his clients at one point or the other. So I got pretty that's like 4 or 5 stories right there already lined up, and that's just on we'll see what happens with Breaking too. So those are just things I kind of lined up that I saw like today or yesterday that we haven't got covered, and then we got a bunch of stuff happening too from our other writers.
Sounds good. Well, I got the story. I'll tell you once I hit the end button. So again, I want to thank everybody. Thank you, John, for joining me. Thanks everybody for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button, and we'll do it again soon.